This is going to be the Us Watching Us episode where we visited the beginning of our visit to the land of Laos, which is a little landlocked country in Southeast Asia between Vietnam and Thailand and China and Cambodia. It's kind of surrounded by all those countries. And we had been in Indonesia for about a month. And then we scooted up to Bangkok for a few days and had a nice visit of Bangkok. And then we went back up into Laos. Took a train up into Laos. And just in case this comes up later in the stream, we're having some technical problems with some things. So this may all just fall apart on us. I don't know. But I suppose nobody would be watching this later if it all fell apart. But if we get an hour into it before I go, fuck it, we're stopping. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. Okay.
I don't either.
Yeah. I mean, it's all kind of wild road today. Okay. So we are starting in... we'll get down into Southeast Asia here, and we had finished up our month over here in, I put this in English for everybody. Am I looking for E?
Why did it change to Japanese?
Because I'm not logged in, and it's just doing it by... I don't use a logged in browser because I don't want to, click on my bookmarks and see that everybody is... I don't want everybody to see that I have, nothing but horse porn or something, in my bookmarks, So I just use that. But that's
what we watch. But wouldn't it have been in English before? And did something happen?
This is basically a browser that nobody's logged into.
Yeah, but wouldn't it hold that setting? Let's close it and find out.
Let's not screw with technology right now. So we had spent a month or so in Indonesia. And like I said, then we went to Bangkok and we took a train from Bangkok up into Laos. And we went into the capital of Laos. This is where we're going to be beginning our trip. Vientiane, I think. Vientiane, I think, is how it's
Look at that runway highlight over Vientiane. Look at that runway.
Oh, yeah. We'll see more about that. That's funny that's the
I don't know if that's the one, but it might be the one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, that's it. That's the vertical runway for sure. So we will be spending a month of real-time time in Laos. So during the time that we're there, we went up north and then went back down south and went into Cambodia. So today we're going to be doing, I'm not sure which episodes. I wrote it down, but I don't remember now. I need to get that open anyway. So we're going to be doing Vientiane, then Vang.
Gary, how do we say it?
Yeah, where's Gary? Vang, Vieng. I don't remember how to pronounce any of this stuff.
Vieng.
Mm-hmm.
Vang.
And then
Vang.
Luang Prabang is up north further. I'm not sure. It's somewhere up in this. Oh, here it is, right here.
Gary wrote you a love letter, so you should have read Gary's
Oh, to Eric, I just want to thank you for informing me about the Tanuki. I immediately watched Pompoko first, so it was half hilarious. And finally, I got to see what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, great. Yeah. And the guy from Tom Nook, he's a Tanuki too.
So much to know.
Okay.
The Moroccan airport
I hope it's the official account.
Following us. Let's fly.
Can I click on that?
Regardless if it isn't really the Moroccan airport, that person chose an incredible name. That's really funny.
Okay. So that's going to be the adventure that we're going to do today. And then we're not going to be doing this next week and possibly not the following week because we're going to be traveling.
Yes.
But then we will be back and then
we will be us being us.
Yeah, in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's jump into the videos. Morocco airport is this way, is what they said. All right. Okay, let's jump into the videos. And as usual, we will do. Oh, do you remember what was your thoughts before we get into that?
The only thing I think of is not cooked chicken.
In Laos?
Yeah, that's not...
What about...
I think so many more things now that I think about it, but that's up in the north.
Let me ask a question. What about...
There's a question?
Before we went to Laos, what did you think was... did you have any image?
Nothing.
I knew it was
Maybe I watched some like documentaries on like warfare.
I knew it was very
And
rural. We had a friend that was from Laos, that he hadn't been there since he was a kid. And I knew that the neighbor from King of the Hill was from Laos.
oh,
And I knew that Laos was a communist-run country. And that was about everything that I knew. Do I know Bulgaria? I do. I've never been to Bulgaria, but I know Bulgaria as a place. Okay, let's get into it.
oh, are they making fun of me because I like to check the weather on all of the? Can you highlight over Vientiane?
Oh, you want to see what the weather is? It's
Yeah.
probably
I forgot about that. Oh, so disappointing.
over
it's
here.
partly cloudy.
Partly cloudy and 21.
21 degrees.
That's-
Wow,
it's-
that's the same
it's
like temperature as where we're going.
Pretty nice there.
Ish.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm a little bit like flustered from all the technology. Yeah, can you get up and plug the?
Yes.
It's easier for you to move. Headphones connected. Sweet. Did you guys hear the bonk? Like, are we going to be good to go? All right. So again, we had been on a overnight train ride to go from Bangkok up, and then I remember there's like the quote unquote friendship bridge, and there was no transportation. You had to walk across the bridge because the Mekong River, I think is what it is, runs between it's the border of the two countries. All right, we're still in Thailand, but we're really close to the Laos border, and we have been on a train for 14 and a half hours, and we're now walking through the dusty northeastern Thailand. That's totally my image of northeastern Thailand, and honestly, that's sort of what a lot of Laos looks like. Just like this dirty, dusty, like kind of wet, not our dry, dusty area where there's lots of rain still, but for some reason it's like this dry, dirty thing. It's like a thing. And that is the KKK Travel Limited. Want to KKK your way through the day? That's your way. And we are looking for the Thai-Lao Friendship Bridge.
Probably just follow that, dude.
There, we will hopefully get into the People's Republic of Laos. Oh boy! We on the friendship. Oh, they put you on a bus then? I guess. I thought you had to walk across the bridge. Where all the friendship happens.
It's short-lived friendship.
It's almost over. That's the Mekong River. If anybody ever wanted to know what that looks like. Looks like tide is low. Too much friendship for the high tide to tolerate. It had to peace out. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Even then, I don't know.
Welcome to Laos, everybody. Should I be putting that on the internet?
Wow, what kind of info do we have
Yeah, I
here?
don't know. My
Doesn't
social-
seem like
it's-
anything
it doesn't
serious.
look like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember this was one of the. We actually had to get an official visa in our passport. Not every country does this when you travel. So this is like a full page sticker that they put in, and you had to. I remember sitting in a big line full of other people, and we had to fill out some paperwork and pay some money, and then I remember all these like dudes that looked like. There's something about like communist countries where they kind of have like similar uniforms and stuff. It doesn't look exactly like what you would think of when you think of like North Korea or the USSR, but it's got that tinge. I remember all the guards and stuff had those types of uniforms on. And then when you're in the country, you see monuments and stuff that look communist. But I remember being not nervous about this, but I just remember being like, okay, things are going to run and look a little bit different than they do in the countries we've been in because of this like cultural thing, like political/cultural difference.
They're open from 6 to 10 p.m.
They are open from 6 to 10 p.m. And then after that, finish! All right, Katie.
Yeah.
And this bowl of soup. Put your hand up so people can see the size of this bowl of soup. Is that a big bowl of soup? Big bowl of soup.
It was, but now I've met ramen, so.
Chicken.
Why didn't I talk about that? What was that? That looked like tea
Looked like,
or
yeah,
something.
like tea leaves.
Yeah.
This guy on the treadmill has spotted us.
Oh, dude, we went. I got a massage.
Oh, is this that?
Yeah, we got a couples massage.
Ah, Laos. Told us about a gym that we could go to.
So to be clear, like the capital, at least at this time of Laos, is like it's like a small town, basically. Like it's not a tiny little town, but for a capital city, it's just really
city,
not a big built up area.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very, very like there's not a lot to do. So I think that might be why we ended up here. We did some other stuff over there.
I
But
also think that like some nice relaxation was probably necessary. How many months in are we now?
I don't know. This is so we're going into February probably around this time. I didn't see the date at the beginning of the thing. But yeah, there's like a spa. Was the food mainly more Vietnamese or Thai? It
Well,
was
you just saw
Laotian.
what was on the table. Like I had what I would label as kind of Vietnamese, and what you were eating looked more Thai.
It kind of
it's an amalgamation
does sort
on
of fall
all its own.
between the two. But I'm not smart enough to tell you what Laotian cuisine is specifically. Like I don't know. But that whole region sort of shares like similar types of dishes with different splashes from different directions. But even like northern and southern Vietnam have different styles of the same dishes. So.
And if you know us, we're not gym people. So it's a little odd being at a gym, but we came here and we got a 1-day pass, and it gave us a lot of really good things. Let me show you around a little bit. That's a pool. Yeah.
I don't think we went in it, did we?
I don't remember. It's a deep pool. Actually, Eric could get
Oh yeah, no, we did. I remember it. Yeah.
straight up or underwater, so it's really, really deep. We got to go swimming in this pool, and we got to try out that lukewarm hot tub over there, which is really weird. And then over here, and hopefully there aren't a whole bunch of
Oh, the steam. I had a steam of the air.
show you this. There are saunas and there are steam rooms, which I didn't realize that they were two different things, but apparently they are. So that was really cool.
We have a motorbike too.
You got a helmet.
I liked that shirt.
That was our first sauna and our first steam. It's intense.
How long was I in there?
You were in there for at least 10 minutes. I was sitting out there going, he's probably dead.
It's like 150 degrees in there, easy.
And then on top of that, we got to go to this spa right here.
So,
And we both got an hour-long massage, which was Eric's first massage. Was it good?
I think it moved.
It was really, really good. And that has been our afternoon. It's our first day in Laos.
I let a strange woman touch me for an hour. That seems really strange. That just it doesn't seem like no way, dude. That sounds terrible to me now.
Like, that sounds like one of the things you let your girlfriend convince you to do, and then you never did again.
Yeah, but in this case, it was you had to convince me to do it, and then I never did it again.
But that's what I just painted.
No, you said that I convinced you to let me do it again and never did it again. Wait, who? Who convinced who?
That is something that your girlfriend convinced you to do.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the beginning of your relationship, but this was nowhere near the beginning of the relationship.
I thought you were trying to say that the guy convinced the woman. No, it's okay.
No,
I'll get this
no,
massage. No. Yeah, no.
Just
it was
the
like,
tip. Just the tip.
Just the tip. I think it moved.
Yeah, and I don't think I had to do much convincing. You would have just said no if you didn't want to go and peruse all
you don't
this.
convince. Like,
Yeah,
that's not
so
how we work.
it is surprising that you did it at all,
Yeah.
but it was really cheap
don't
from my recollection.
Yeah, I know the swimming pool sounds fun. This building is not a representation of what we saw in the rest of the city. This is a very
This is a
modern
gym.
looking yeah. It didn't the vibe of this. The vibe you might catch from this experience is not the vibe of the rest of the city, from what my recollection is.
So that's pretty good. And all of that cost us $6, which is pretty amazing because I got one massage in the States before I left with my mom, and just the hour-long massage was $35. Right now,
It was $6?
Like I said, cheap.
Holy shit.
we're at a park called Buddha Park. I can't pronounce it in Lao, so you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that I'm calling it Buddha Park. It is what it's called. But anyways, basically at this park, there are a whole bunch of sculptures that were done by this really eccentric man, and you'll see more of those in a moment. We're more interested in this gigantic show what?
I have strong memories of
This
this.
gigantic statue that you can go into. Basically, it's 3 levels, and you start off going in the first level, which is representative of hell. So you're walking into the mouth of hell. That's getting creepy.
Hell's not so bad.
Hell ain't so bad. I was just playing around.
So hell is in this pumpkin?
Then you can go up these stairwells. The next level is Earth.
Those are really small stairs.
Mm-hmm. This whole thing's concrete, right?
You can go in there. Here's some footage that I shot of Earth.
I don't like that I wrote the word crazy. It makes me
I
feel
read
weird.
it and I thought, but the thing is, like, we don't know what else we don't remember what else we experienced with that man.
Yeah,
it
there
may
could have
not
been
be
something
that
that
he
happened
just seemed
otherwise.
crazy for worshiping. It may be that there was an interaction or some sort of thing we witnessed that added that word, but without that
Context.
context, it seems
tacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel weird having done that.
While Crazy Guy wasn't in there. I do want to talk about him, though, because
Oh, okay.
we walked into the room and this guy had taken off his shoes, he was kneeling on the artwork, and he was praying to one of the sculptures in the room. And I am all for people being whatever type of religion they want and worshiping any way that they want. And it's cool that this guy was doing whatever. He was kind of just had his arms up in the air and was making little chanting noises, and it was just a little awkward because we didn't really go there for, like, we've been to Watts and stuff like that and been around people praying, but this was not that kind of place. It was more of an art place than it was a religious place. But anyways, once we went up onto the roof, this guy was up there and he was visibly about to start crying. And it was just a little odd. Nobody else is on his level.
Even with the explanation, I feel weird about it. Yeah, that's a weird. That's one of these things where I would, like, somebody sees a YouTuber and they're like, "You guys have no respect," or blah blah blah. That's kind of valid. I think we could have been more tactful about that. But at the same time, I still don't remember the entire mood. But I think you got to be carefuler, and I think we are now with how you present things to people who don't have the whole thing. Either you got to give the entire picture, or you got to be more tactful about it.
But on the flip side of that, I think to myself, we're using the words and the descriptions that we probably used between the two of us.
That's true.
And these are our videos.
Yep.
It's not like these are made for people
That's
general ingestation.
That's true. And at the time, we weren't making the videos for other people at all.
Even now, I kind of, I understand.
No, I disagree with you. I think with our videos now, I don't want to say that I edit myself, but I'm cognizant that I don't want to give an impression about a thing or a person that is not properly rounded out, because I don't want that's not fair, because I know there's people watching now. So I'm more, it's not that I'm dishonest about it, it's that I would be more careful. Do you know what I'm saying?
You're not talking to me, you're talking to a room.
Yeah, Yes, and I'm also talking to you, but I think I would try to not say that about a person in general anymore. I don't think I would. I don't think know if
I
I'm.
got a truth about you. That's not true.
Not
Based on what
serious.
was just said, I can completely see us saying crazy. Oh, dude's crazy. Like no qualms on that. I can see.
There's something different.
The
Yeah,
weird
there's something
feeling
different
about the audience.
This is an interesting conversation. There's something different about saying it to like what you just said. Saying it to an audience, it has a different. It changes the meaning rather than just like a whisper to like your person.
Yeah, you're not only talking to me
it's
anymore.
It's the same word, but it means something different when you're speaking to an audience.
It's heavier.
Yes. And to me, I guess you're right. I would probably, I don't know about that exact situation, but we might say something like, look at that, but it wouldn't be for anybody else to ever hear. And that's how we were speaking then.
Yeah.
Because that's what we thought about with the videos. Nobody's watching this. But now, and again, I don't feel like it's...
Even more so, the people that we thought were on the other end of these videos were people who understand.
We would have whispered to them
talk.
too.
Yeah, I would have been straight up to my mom like, that dude is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. The room is there now. It's basically all we're stating here.
Yeah. That was fun to work through. Like, why did that make me feel strange to see that?
I, on the other hand, I have no qualms, but I've been told I'm not allowed to say stuff. So now I just don't say this. I don't want to edit you. Yeah,
but
I don't get edited.
Like there's a responsibility. Like, we don't have a huge platform, but we do have a platform, and with a platform there comes responsibility, and like that's just how it is. And I still want to show things that are happening and like explain what's going on, but I think because certain words are heavier when you have that platform, you have to be more careful about the words that you use so that you tell the story accurately. Because somebody might see that crazy thing and be like, oh, he must have been really crazy. But it was just like, oh, he's doing a little crazy thing. And because that word has more impact because it's on a stage and it's like an audience, you just have to be cognizant of what language to use. And in that case, I didn't like the language that we used.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'm not trying to correct anything or anything. I'm just I'm thinking this out loud, basically.
Yeah. I don't feel any correction at all.
Hey, crazy bitch.
No doubt about that. Put the arrow.
Now we are in what is heaven. Seems really dark.
Heaven's got a power outage.
Power outage. Can you see better through here now? Nope.
Current camera would be lighting that up.
Heaven doesn't look too amazing, apparently, if you can't see it. I think you have.
I think I just burped.
To go up. Oh no.
Like in the video?
Or I have a hiccup.
Watch your head. Can you fit?
Yeah, those
That's what
stairs
she
are like
said.
this.
There we go.
It's pretty cool. You can go up on it.
It's pretty dangerous when you
And then you're
think
able to
about
get
it.
up to the top. And now you can see the entire park. It's pretty cool.
Look how big that Buddha is, the reclining one.
Getting some waves.
You edited this?
Well, most of it.
You
The
wrote
hard
crazy.
parts.
I'm clean. I didn't say crazy. I didn't write crazy.
Wow.
man.
I love that we worked through that hard time for you only to come to this screen.
You edited this?
Guess so.
Under what circumstances?
That I also
I don't remember that at all.
Maybe you got sick.
At that time, I would have just not edited it. I didn't care. I edited when I had time, not when things needed to be done.
Is it the stuff before or the stuff after?
I don't know. Maybe you said I did it.
I did it, so.
Was that the whole video? Maybe. Yeah,
I did a whole video.
You can edit our next video. This is great. You know how to edit? I didn't know you know how to edit. Oh, this is wonderful news. Okay, let's get it. The next one is.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it's fine.
Oh.
The next one is the second episode of The Same City. So we will.
We're at Pac Tu Sai, and that is much like the Arc de Triomphe in France. Let me give you a look.
This is one of my favorite monuments in the world.
No doubt.
I think it's amazing.
We've just been reading our book, and it says it just looks like a cement monster. And that is totally right. And apparently, the United States gave Laos a lot of concrete to make an airport, and this is what they made. People call it the vertical runway. And it is a lot like the Arc de Triomphe. My pronunciation is amazing. But sadly, France, you just don't have as many archways. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that, France.
How many are in the French one?
I don't know.
Probably 4.
Apparently.
Is it only just a one way? It's not a cross?
That's my assumption of what I assumed. That's my assumption of my previous assumption.
Oh, it's hard to tell who edited this. Who knows?
The area, there's a bunch of guys here with digital cameras.
Oh,
And they'll take your picture for a fee, and they will print it out.
Dude, what if we had one of those sweet pictures? We'd be telling people the story. We'd like have it framed. Let me tell you about this. Below it, we'd have a picture of the man with the printer.
This isn't the first time that we've seen. The last time in Laos that we see somebody with a belt on their back, on their belt, a battery on their belt.
Mm-hmm.
Battery to power said printer, and that is something that I have never seen before.
Oh, we're just punching through. We're not filming very much of the city. There's a lot missing. That kitty looks like it could use a snack.
Kind of remember this place.
We're in a Wat, and look how small that kitten is.
Is that another kitten?
Mm-hmm.
And the ceiling and all the paintings and stuff. Almost,
what if that cat was just dying?
It almost looks like a comic book. It's different than what we've seen in Thailand. And it's definitely interesting looking. It's just really vibrant, very, very, very vibrant. I mean, Buddhism has been pretty vibrant in the past, but this is explosive. It almost reminds me of, I don't even know, it just reminds me of a comic book or something.
Mm-hmm. I'd go back to this. Looks cool.
Mm-hmm. It's big.
And Katie has found a kitten.
I wonder what you're saying.
This is Laos' most iconic monument. Yeah.
Like of the entire country. It's really not that big. I think the Arc de Triomphe looking thing was much cooler looking. That to me, that's what sticks out in my head. I love the story.
It's good times.
It's good.
Waiting outside for about a half an hour to come in here. And it's living up to the hype. It's called Pathat Luang. And this is about it. There's some headless statues over here. Yeah.
This is outrageous!
What are we doing?
Outrageous. It's contagious.
Oh,
What
it's
is
from
that?
Peep Show. It's from Peep Show.
But what's the rest of it?
I don't know. It's like Jazz's song when he's like, yeah, I should get a tattoo of myself on myself.
Outrageous.
Or something.
We just went on a tour of the house that the president of Laos lived in, and it was modest.
Oh gosh, I remember this.
In a house built by the U.S. Army when we had a base here, and it was like where like a troop would live with his family when he gets shipped overseas or something like that.
Barracks.
So it was just cinder blocks in a square basically, and it had like 3 or 4 rooms each, and I mean it looked very, very like old school American. And I mean, we're talking, this is probably the most modest world leader that has been alive in recent times. I'll show you the backyard. We were on a tour, so I didn't want to make a video. It was weird because we were by ourselves on the tour, and it would be cool to show you more, but...
Times have changed.
What?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, that's terrible.
It's true.
It was just like, yeah, there was nothing in there. It was just very, very, very simple. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of interesting, actually.
Thinking back on this, I wonder if that was just propaganda. Like the communists, like a lot of times like communist regimes are like, oh yeah, the leaders are just the men of the people, and like there's no class divisions and stuff like that. And I wonder if that was actually how that guy lived. I mean, I don't know, maybe it was. Or maybe it was just you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's the way we want people to
think.
think.
That's how we want people to think or whatever. I don't remember too much about it other than what's being said.
This is the history we're writing now.
Possible. Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty amazing to walk around and see that. I don't know, I'm just kind of taken for words.
Uh-huh.
You know how in the States that when you're eating watermelon, you get the seeds in your mouth and you spit them out? You should start selling that. A lot of watermelon seeds.
What the fuck?
$1.50.
What?
You eat the
Are
watermelon
they, like,
seeds?
Grilled? Yeah. But like, I wouldn't buy them by themselves.
We're already eating pizza, which has something to do with kind of maybe what we felt of the food that we were able to find.
Well, yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We will?
Yeah, well, you and I will talk about it. I don't know if we talk about it in the video, but we can talk about it.
What's the name of the city we're in? Vientiane? It's hard to pronounce because it's not spelt that way, so get off me. I just can't do it. Anyways, we're at a place called Swedish Pizza and Bakery House, and we have a chicken pizza, which this is the second one we've had today. It is absolutely delicious. And I've also got a banana shake here, which is really good. And
you're reading a newspaper.
This is some of the best pizza I've really ever had. It's very good, and it's...
Yeah, what year is it? I got a newspaper.
I like that I know that pizza's nothing now. I know that's nothing.
How do you know?
Because I've had such good pizza.
Oh, well, I mean, it was good for
life.
maybe
It was
the
good
life we were living there.
For like the next couple of years.
$5 for the shake and the pizza. It's a pretty good price.
That's ridiculous.
At a bus station, and this trash can is made entirely out of tires and bolts.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's a good little video.
Oh, man.
Yeah, maybe he's dying.
Is he dying or
Look
snoozing?
at it that way.
He's sitting up, though. If he was dying, would he be sitting up?
Until he's dead.
Here with a wobbly kitten.
Oh, man, just did it again.
Did I not edit these videos at all?
What happened to you?
I don't know. Were you just into it?
I don't know.
We should look up when these videos went live, and then I'd be able to understand a little bit better. Where were we that you would have been editing video? Yeah, that's very surprising. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the background of that.
Pizza?
Yeah.
You're going to say pizza?
Yeah, so other things that we did in that town, in that city.
We're just going to start at the stupid part, which was we went to an Indian restaurant. We couldn't really find very many places to eat. And at certain times of the day, they aren't open.
Sometimes that's because there aren't things to eat. And sometimes it's because when you go to a new country, you don't know how to find food sometimes. I don't know how to explain this. You don't know what food looks like. You're like, is that a restaurant? I don't know. Like, I can't read anything. So you're going on like cues of like things that you would recognize. And sometimes you haven't figured it out. So when you first get to a country, sometimes you can't find restaurants. And keep in mind, this was before we had smartphones.
Straight up here in Japan, sometimes I see font and I'm like, oh yeah, that's food font. And then I walk up to it and they sell rugs. And I feel really disappointed.
You can read.
But it was in the food font, so you can't use that font for any other item. So we found ourselves at an Indian restaurant, and I feel like we had a conversation with the dude, and he said that he kind of wasn't open yet, but yeah, that he'd serve us food.
Yeah.
And so we chose items on the menu. There was no problem with the items that we were choosing. We told him what we wanted. He said it would be coming out. And when it came out, it was undercooked chicken.
Yeah.
Like it was
bleeding.
It was really not good chicken. Yeah. It was, I don't know how
you got upset with the guy because like
I was fucking pissed because I was hungry and I sat there wasting my time in your establishment and I had to pay him.
Yeah, he didn't he
apologized a lot.
He apologized, but he made us pay for the chicken he didn't cook.
Yeah. It was weird and I was pissed and we left. And then I ate pizza and felt better about my life. Yeah. So yeah, that's
I also think that unconnected to that, I do think that I got sick in this city. Because I think in the next city, I was sick at the beginning. And I think that I just remember not feeling well. I don't think it was super sick. I just think I was not feeling well. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the deal was exactly. We went up into the top of the concrete runway thing, the Arc de Triomphe thing. We went up in that. And like we didn't film any of that. And we had a motorbike that didn't make any appearances at all. But we were scooting around. Yeah, so that was...
Upload date for part 2 was March
21. Okay. Give me a second here. Let me look that up. Well, you can eat raw chicken, but only in Japan.
Yeah, true.
So that would have been March 21st. Where were we in March 21st?
Hey, Florian.
Thank you for looking that up, by the way. We were in Hong Kong by then. So but we had just gotten to Hong Kong. So you would have probably done this when we were in Bangkok for like the 3rd or 4th time.
Oh man, I remember that popsicle.
Yeah, they can't see it. Don't get too distracted.
It was really big and it didn't fit in my mouth, but it fit in your mouth.
And I pulled it out of my mouth and went bloop. Yeah, they'll see that later. Well, they probably already all seen it already. I feel like we didn't film nearly as... I don't remember there being a lot going on, but I also think we didn't film very much when we were there. We were just kind of...
definitely see...
And on this trip, I think we kind of drifted back and forth between like the amount we would film. Sometimes we'd film a lot in a day, and sometimes we'd go like a week and only film like 1 or 2 little things. So I think this was just like we just weren't pushing the record button. And that's just how we were rolling. Okay, let's get into the next video. I'm on the wrong computer. And this is going to be... So what you have to think about Laos is, like we said before, it's incredibly rural. There is not a lot of quote-unquote reason to go there for tourism, but they do have an odd amount of tourism. It tends to be like... At the time that we went there, maybe it's different now. It's sort of like a lot of people go to Thailand. Families and all sorts of people, backpackers, go to Thailand. And then it's like the people who kind of like quote unquote want to be like more hardcore go to Laos, right? And it's like, so you get these backpackers that are doing like, they've done Thailand and we're going to do Laos now because that's like a little harder. And it is a little harder and it's way more rustic and way more off the, it's like not like these like established paths, or again, like at the time that we were there, could be very different than what we experienced. But then you go we went up and we took a bus up to Vieng, and it's we got a tip to go there by somebody else that said you just have to go there to see the spectacle of all these drunk Westerners floating down a river in like what are those things called?
Inner tubes.
Inner tubes. like float, like people go tubing and they just get drunk.
And it wasn't just that. It's that it is like a rave of a city.
It's like a rave and a frat party, and it's on an old airstrip that the Americans built but claimed they never were there. And then everything around it is like super rural farmers and stuff. It's so strange. It's so strange. And Laos is not absolute hell. It's just, it's very weird to see the tourism in this environment. It's bizarre.
When I think back about Vang or whatever, this like bro city, this frat city, part of me is like, you didn't do that right. But part of me is like, I don't want to know how doing it right could turn out really wrong.
Yeah.
So
I think we did. I think I went there to observe the
But
bizarre.
that's what you are.
That's to observe the bizarreness, not to be a part of the scum and villainy.
What I
You, on the other hand, spent $1 on like a bucket of gin.
I got 2 buckets of gin out of that. I think back to that and I kind of wonder like, might have been fun, but I wouldn't have done it on my own. And I knew you weren't going to do it. So I rode on the Eric train, but had I been with like friends and stuff like that, I wonder what this city feels like from that angle.
Yeah. I did it the way that I felt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I left that town and I could still respect myself.
Yeah, that was definitely the part of doing it the right way, but having it turn out wrong.
So anyway, there are no rail networks that I recall. So the only way you can get around in Laos is by bus. And we'll see in future episodes that turns into an ordeal sometimes. But I remember this bus ride from Vientiane to Vieng, I'm sorry about the pronunciations, being uneventful. I don't remember it being a big deal. But I do remember seeing a whole bunch of people. They were like digging a ditch on the side of the road and they were using shovels. Like they weren't using like machinery. I remember noting that and be like, man. But then that road was paved and we found out that that's kind of rare.
Highlight over the city or click on it. Does it have like a pronunciation? If you go and click on it, will it make a sound?
No. And I can't.
How am I supposed to learn?
I can't read those kanjis.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see like, I remember getting off the bus and walking across an airstrip that wasn't an airstrip anymore.
Yeah.
And just being like, okay. And like the Americans were like, oh, we were never in Laos. That never happened. And they're like, it's like the most bombed country in history or something, like by the Americans.
Whoa. Ponies?
Oh man, things have changed.
Wow. Got to go back. Wow.
Whoa. Holy smokes.
Eric Klein. This will be doing it right.
Look at this.
Let's get back.
Wow. I wonder if this town
has turned into like adult, like family stuff.
This town feels like the kind of place, I can't imagine it's the same vibe as it was when we were there. That felt like one of those stories that you would hear from somebody that traveled in the 70s. Ooh. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I went around the world in the 70s and there was this crazy little town, like blah, blah, blah. This doesn't seem like it could possibly still exist.
Zoom in on the river.
What do you want to, what information are you trying to?
I'm wondering a little bit further out and go up to whichever direction you feel they put us in.
Yeah, we were up here because the river flows
I'm wondering if the bars are marked now.
Oh yeah, and there were these bars
like,
in the river.
Like what's that by thing?
There were bars like in the river, and they would throw like a.
They had a
bottle
pet bottle filled with water attached to a string. They would throw it out to the people, and if you wanted to go to that bar, you'd hold on to the bottle, and they'd reel you in.
And they'd reel you in, yeah, you'd go to the bar.
I got hit with a fucking bottle.
Yeah, things kind of like this. That's not what I remember.
That doesn't
in my
look
head.
like the frat boy one. Yeah, like click on some of these that just look sus. That doesn't look right.
I remember that. I remember like bridges going across the thing and just looking like really, really rural. Yeah, okay, maybe stuff kind of like this, maybe? I don't know. That's not really what I remember.
That's not one of the bars, that's for sure.
Anyway, let's watch the video. Maybe we'll get more information from the video. Loopy, hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Eric can only sit on the pony with his. Yeah, the pony can ride me. It's okay.
Eric can sit on the pony and help with his long legs.
America has never been in a lot of places.
Has never been in a lot of places. Like, they don't have boots on the ground in North Korea right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not boots, like eyes. He said eyes, not boots on the ground, but like...
eyes on the ground?
Yeah, because
feet or feet.
Boots on the ground means
soldiers
troops.
Or whatever.
Yeah. It's something from the news that we saw a couple days ago.
I got him by retrieving some interesting information.
If only it would open on the same window every time.
New videos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice cock.
A lot. He thought it was very important from 5:30 till 8:30 to tell me what it is in just one word.
You did a pretty good job. That sounded like a real rooster.
I also sound sick.
Yeah.
It wasn't my best, but that's what I've got right now. I really hate this guy.
God, he's scrawny.
Yeah, he looks like that cat.
I said, do you have any rock?
I'd totally throw a rock at that rooster right now.
For the record, she didn't throw rocks at the rooster, and I don't think she would. Well, you did throw things. What did you do to the cat, Sanotska? You squirted him with a squirt gun. That's not too weird.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Vieng is basically a huge. I won't be.
What did she say to you?
I can't. You have to go back.
Is a huge frat party. Huge.
Don't
be afraid. Mm.
All right. Vieng is basically a huge. I won't be. Is a huge frat party. And that's basically what happens. Everybody comes down here, gets drunk. We got off the tuk-tuk, got free shots, and then you get in the water, and then people don't drown.
Yeah, they give you shots off the tuk-tuk and then get you in the water.
Alright, so might as well tell you about Vientiane while we're doing the one thing that everybody comes to Vientiane to do other than drugs. Tubing. It's pretty intense, which is weird.
I look so out of my element.
Mm-hmm.
For tubing. There are tons of people flying on trapeze over the water and jumping in, which is pretty cool. It really is just a big fucking frat party. Hopefully we'll get video of somebody doing the trapeze. Not sure though.
That's a good video.
Alright, so this is retarded. I was just sitting there tubing, minding my own business, and then somebody threw a 20-ounce water at me twice. And basically what they're doing, these just like that. Basically what they're doing is they're throwing it at the girls to reel them into the sidebars, which you might be able to see behind me. And they look really disappointed when you don't go.
I like how this is like a frat party and everybody's got their muscles out and stuff, and I've just got a long sleeve shirt on. I don't want to be out in the sun. And I'm the most impressive specimen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jen, I'm tubing. Yay!
Floating along.
It is really shocking how happy I get around water. What happens? If we go to the water, I take all the pictures and they get in the tube, and if somebody brings a boat, I'm out of my mind with happiness.
But I'm the one that goes to the coast to make you happy.
Oh, you dragging me over to my own happiness I
think we got ourselves a goat situation here.
It seems pretty sneaky.
Douchebag River here, and
Douchebag river.
I called it. You're like, oh yeah, this is like a frat party. It's like kind of fun. I was like, douchebag river here. Floating along douchebag river here, and behind this tree, it's a really good goating around with a little goatlet.
What's a goatlet?
A little goat.
Oh.
There he is.
Goat, 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 goat.
To be fair to douchebag river, this is some pretty epic cliffage.
That was actually a little scary passing them.
It's just a quintessential, like, how can I say this? It's like the quintessential activity that the locals would never participate in. Mm-hmm. And it's only for people like foreigners. That's what I think is so weird about it too. That's like when you go to Japan and you go to do some touristy things, like there'll be some foreigners, there'll be some Japanese people. It's like, you know, kind of a mixture or whatever. The lower the percentage of locals that participate in activity, and like locals, I mean like people from the country, because I mean, of course, like people in the town aren't going to be involved in that specific activity every time. But like, you know, if there's no domestic use at all of an activity, the lower that number is, the weirder it is that it exists.
What's the thing here that is happening?
Mario Kart. That
Mario Kart thing.
Yep,
yeah.
driving around in those little carts. Japanese people don't do that shit.
No.
I mean, it's not. I'm not saying they never ever do. Of course, somebody does.
Because like some Laotian, like one or two Laotian people have gone out there.
Exactly.
Honestly, one or two Laotian people might own that shit.
Well, there's a difference between owning and participating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that's just not something that the people there have any part of it. It's just completely. That's what makes it so weird to me, I guess. Like it's just, it adds to the bizarreness, and then like just the outrageousness of the whole thing. It was weird, man.
We are currently doing something that you would never be able to do in the United States by yourself without a guide of some sort. We're climbing around in a cave that really doesn't have any lights and creepy Buddhas and whatnot. Maybe you can't see it, but it's creepy.
My mood on this visit in this town, I remember being pretty like just grumpy. I don't think I liked being there, just in general.
Well,
I remember going to this cave and stuff too, and not being like into it. Like I remember just being like just not in the mood for whatever. I was ready to be out of that town. I have positive memories of other parts of Laos, but this one place, I don't know. I just something about it that whole vibe just bummed me out, I think.
And we're hoping we're not getting lost. After wandering around in the dark cave, we were looking for a blue lagoon, which the Lonely Planet book had promised to us.
Oh, it's cold.
They promised it. Well, we searched around for a while and got nowhere. And then as we were walking back to our bike, we saw this trail to the side. And in the book, it said that it was going to, you'd go up a path through some scrub forest. So this is what we were going through, and we were really hoping to find it, but we didn't. We actually ended up in some place where they had mulled down a whole bunch of trees, and we couldn't go on any farther. So there may be a blue lagoon there, but who knows?
We went in some water at some point.
Side note to our travels, as we were walking, Eric flicked a scorpion off of his hand, looked at me, and told me that if he gets sick, at least we know what caused it.
Today we have the world's worst motorbike. As you can see, it says Honda, but look at the engine.
Back on.
Not Honda. It's something else. It's a Chinese bike. The motor and everything runs like crap, and these things are bent, so your feet aren't in the right place. And it shifts really strange sometimes. It doesn't feel like it's going to shift at all, and that's all great. But the top part about this is there's no shocks on the front at all. And when you're riding on a riverbed, no shocks makes it pretty scary. The back's okay. We do have pink helmets.
I had a good ride.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, I was just grumpy.
On the way to and from another cave, we went over this bridge, and it was kind of rickety and a little scary, but we got to see an amazing view from the bridge of the river.
The Mekong River must not be a border that goes all the way. Must not be the border all the way up north and south if we were going back and forth across it. Maybe it's not the same river. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, so we've gone from
Yeah, this is what I remember.
with no lights to floating through caves.
Oh, that's really blue.
Oh, yeah, there are no lights. Doing the doggy paddle, yeah.
Another sign that I was not in a good mood, you had the camera like the whole time. Like I just was like, That's cool. I have the camera.
The water was actually deep enough for me to do a cannonball.
Cannonball! Those are my 2 water moves. Got the doggy paddle and the cannonball. I think that's all you need.
I can't tell. I think the computer just jerked out on us. Yeah. Let's see if it'll reset. Please work. Please work. That Chinese clone was not in good shape. Yeah, I think something in my chain is dying. Please work.
Hour wait for toast. It's a long time to wait for toast.
Okay, I think we're good. I'll back it up a little bit to...
Do a cannonball.
That dog's eyes.
Yeah, I remember feeling a little creeped out by him. But that's probably me playing with him. What the fuck was I speaking? Sabade!
Yeah, there's the airstrip.
Sounds like a pool.
So this is a airstrip that's no longer used, and its existence is the United States put it here in the 70s when we were fighting a war that we actually secretly were not fighting, really. It was covert, basically, the whole war in Laos. And we're standing on proof that that war happened, because otherwise there wouldn't be an airstrip here that was for the CIA's Air America fleet. And the whole thing's really messed up. And it turns out that Laos is actually the most bombed country in history, and bombed by us. They're for part of Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh Trail, a majority of it ran through Laos, and we bombed the living crap out of it. And there's apparently still bombs left all over the place in mines, and if you walk around out in the jungle, you can step on one and kill yourself. So that's good to know. But yeah, they all the pilots for the Air America program weren't allowed to wear a uniform. They were supposedly civilian pilots, but they were absolutely 100% flying missions for the CIA and in support of the Vietnam War. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, and there's little pieces of history like this all over the place, and Laos does not want you to forget that the Americans had a war here, but America certainly wouldn't want to tell you about it. This is like the 7th country we've been in, and this is the first time I've seen this mode of transportation.
That's dope. You should get one of those.
Yeah.
Neighbors would be like, what the hell?
What did it say? Welcome something? Oh, I missed it. I feel like I'm gonna get hit with something.
Oh, it's a slide. Oh, it's not. This guy's like shot out of the side. Oh yeah, I can drive. Yeah, I definitely can. My motorcycle license. You should see the license Katie's got though.
Apparently, I have a special license. I'm able to drive like a really big truck. I'm able to drive 10-seater van, which I'd already driven a 10-seater van before.
Keep talking. I'm going to change the battery in this. It's about to die anyways. So you can keep talking, but they won't be able to see you.
Oh, it's podcast style now?
Yeah.
Shit?
Yeah.
Podcasts, I don't know much about them. But they're like radio now. But they sometimes they're video too. Yeah, the big boy that you showed me, I can drive like I can haul around 4 tons. What are we gonna find that's like really can we get an elephant or something and put it on there?
There's a your mom joke in here someplace.
Oh yeah, your mom is so fat. I gotta like. No, that does not sound right.
Then you gotta say your mom is so fat that you gotta. I can't drive her in the car. We gotta get Katie's license. Did I deliver it? Did I deliver it good?
Yeah, I gotta get Katie's license to take her. Your mom is so fat. Only Katie's license to drive her around. There we go. I have a special license. They trust me with the tonnage.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
The camera. There we go. Okay. And we have one more video, and then we'll do. It's complicated how these have to get broken up, but another short one, and then so we went from here to Lao Prabang, I think is how I'm gonna go about saying it at the moment, which was this place. And I remember this being a really actually quite nice place. And it's like considered like the France of Asia or something like that. And it's like, it's got like a European, like Laos has a big French influence. Like historically, I think it was colonized by France maybe, but there's a lot of French pieces in Laos, like left over from probably horrible things that happened back in the day. And this specific town might have been one of the like major cities when France was involved in the I guess I'm using the word colonization by the French. Okay, yeah, and I believe that they had just built it up pretty nicely for whatever reason, and it's maintained that way. And it's in stark contrast to basically everywhere else that we saw. It has a completely different vibe than every place else does that we saw in Laos at the time anyways. And I don't think we filmed much, but let's see what we did. I don't remember.
So we've been in a minivan going up and down the street.
There we go.
Quite some time. We're on a 6-hour or 7-hour, 8-hour, you never know, ride today. And I've been watching this side of the road, and there's this ditch that's been going for hours. And every once in a while you'll see sections where they'll be digging it. And it's just some dudes with some hose and some shovels, and they're digging this by hand. And I mean, this is probably hundreds of kilometers long at this point. So might be time to import a backhoe, Lao, because it would speed up your ditch digging process. This is a chicken and pumpkin soup.
Yeah.
And it's very, very spicy. It's got a coconut base. And there's onions and potatoes in it. Carrots. And,
I should get on my soup game.
It's really spicy, and if you're my father, you would probably think that this is phenomenal.
Nod's the guy that enjoyed the sandwich game today.
It looks exactly like downtown Fredericksburg.
Oh yeah, it does.
So, it's kind of strange. Like, I mean, like these like ritzy, like overpriced clothing. Was
the colonization of Laos going on at the same time that like the east coast of the United States was being built?
19th to the mid 20th.
Okay, so a little later, but yeah, interesting.
Shops and the lights and the old colonial looking buildings. It's honkies everywhere. Honkies. honky. And it's
Oh, hey, what's going on? I'm cool. Thank you for the raid. Let me explain what's going on here. We are doing a thing where we traveled around the world in 2009, 2010, and we made a bunch of videos at the time.
And then we forgot what we did in our lives. So now we're watching
Yeah,
us.
we're going back
in the day
and rewatching these videos of us. And at the moment, we are in Laos. Like right now, right at the moment, we are in Tokyo. But the videos that we're watching are of a month that we spent in Laos. And again, this was like proto vlogs. Like this was filmed in like 2010 or something like that. So they're rough around the edges, but it's kind of fun to go back and just see what our experiences were like then, because we haven't gone back and looked at this until now. So that's what's going on.
And we call this us watching us, but outside of us watching us, we do some IRL streams and have a YouTube channel of traveling here in Japan and abroad at lots of different places. So that's us. I'm Katie.
Us.
That's Eric.
So we do this once a week, and then other live streams are like walking around doing stuff or whatever. But this is just our special thing here. Magic Childish, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Hey.
I hope you guys had a good raid. Appreciate our good. I hope you're having a good raid. I hope you had a good stream. Appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. But we are going to jump back into it. And if anybody has any questions or anything, just hit us up in the chat. We're keeping an eye on it while we're doing this, and we can hit the pause button in chat. So let's go. Again, we're in Laos. This is Southeast Asia.
Not something I expected to run into in Laos.
Hi, Siv. What's up?
We've started our adventure at Quang Sai Waterfall, and this bear is playing with a ball. It's going pretty well. It's got ball skills.
Wow.
He looks human.
Greg, you have waited long enough for more waterfalls, and we found one of the most epic.
Ooh, I remember jumping off one of these.
On this day?
Yeah, I think so. I remember jumping off these. It was another one of those, like in Southeast Asia, there's like all these parks, and it's like a waterfall and a waterfall and a waterfall and a waterfall. This was another one of those things. I remember jumping into it.
In Laos. And Jenny, it smells like sunshine incense here. It's pretty amazing.
So for a little more context, she's just talking to her friends, because when we filmed these, like, we didn't think anybody was watching these videos, and they weren't at the time. So it was just for our friends and family. So these are like, they're very, I don't know, intimate is the right word, but very
rudimentary is the word I was thinking.
And like, just like, we're talking to friends. It's the way we're communicating about how our trip is going. We're not trying to make like travel vlogs the way people think about how that gets made now. It's like a kind of coming from a different perspective.
This is one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. Yeah. Move. It just keeps going and going and going, and it just looks really epic. I mean, look, the water is extremely clear.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's like every 10 feet there's something else amazing.
Yeah, every 10 feet we're running across something that looks gorgeous. And here's the epic climax of Quang Sai.
I don't remember if it was a hike or not. Some of them are.
Look at the color of this water.
Cool blue.
This is ridiculous.
Is this the one where the fish nibbled on us?
I don't know.
We've been nibbled on by fish, that's for sure.
This might be our first rock climbing experience.
Jeez.
Look at that rickety
After a 20-minute climb, we made
fence
it to the top of the waterfall, where we got a spectacular view, and we're able to peer over the waterfall, which you don't get to do very often. The area up there was like a swamp. It just wasn't dirty or anything like that. It was pretty cool.
I can't believe we climbed that thing.
I've gotten a little bit closer to the edge, and this is what it looks like. It's really cool. I wonder if we can go swimming down there. It looks nice. I don't think he's supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong side of the fence, man.
Eric Klein.
What am I doing? Trusting that tree.
This right here might be the world's smallest waterfall. Yeah.
Oh.
There's no tubing. You're supposed to let go.
So like
I remember it being outrageously cold to the point that I couldn't breathe.
Oh.
I remember
Yeah, I
like
do
right
remember. I
there
guess it
I'm
was awful.
floating and I just want to get out. Like my body, like all of the change in temperature made my body
Were you dry
freak
when you
out.
just jumped in?
I think so. And I don't think I jumped again. Yeah, my butt looks dry.
Yeah,
Hair's
yeah.
looking
Your hair's,
pretty dry.
Yeah, hair's dry too. Yep. So that was you entering the cold.
But you gotta keep... Look at my face. Ooh. But I try to keep my composure.
Metatron was here. I wish I recorded my travels in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, we feel really fortunate that we thought to do this. It was just kind of a on the whim thing. We didn't like plan, oh, we're going to go record travel and record it. It's like we were going to go on a trip and we were going to like document it in text. Like we were going to make a blog, right? But then we were like, typing is terrible. It's easier to just talk to the camera. And that's why we started talking to the camera. That's the whole story of why we started making these videos. This portion of the trip is like maybe 5 months in. And we'd been all over Southeast Asia at this point. And this is the beginning of our time in Laos. But we feel very fortunate that we just decided to turn the camera around and talk to it, which was bizarre at the time, to be honest. It didn't have a flippy screen on it or anything. Like you couldn't see anything. That's why a lot of the shots, when we turned them around to ourselves, was like zoomed in really tight. But anyway, I was going to say, we were talking about earlier how that one town was weird because only foreigners went there. This does look kind of similar. There's no locals here, but there's something about this that's not quite as scummy. Guess it's not a bunch
It's a
of
waterfall.
like... it's beautiful. It's waterfall or whatever. You moved to Scotland in 2008. Had been living in Europe since, but didn't start making videos in 2017. Oh, yeah, word. Hey, Heather, what's up? Thanks for remembering.
Hey, Heather.
Wait, yeah, I thought you resubbed earlier. That's strange.
Do it
'cause
again.
It's showing us that it just came up. Heather, are you here? The time zone, I don't know if you're here. The time zone, that doesn't make sense. Is this a glitch?
Drink Capri Sun from the bottom. I've probably done that.
Yeah, I've done that. Oh, Heather is here. Okay, cool. Huh. It's just fired the thing. We were talking about it in Discord earlier.
They remember you doing that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
was
how
that
it
here?
rolled. Maybe. We'll find out. Oh, when you hit the stream, it sends no. Oh, that's actually cool. No, you went in again. Look at this.
I went in again. Nobody knows how scared of that I am. I'm so scared. But at the same time, I don't want to miss the chance to have the fun. I don't want to miss the chance of what that feels like.
The scary part is getting the rope. But he's got long arms, so he's lucky.
Yeah, look how easy that was. Do I still have those shorts? Should pack them for tonight for the trip.
Sorry about that.
Do I have swim trunks? I don't know if I do.
Yeah, you do.
They're brown, maybe?
I don't know what they are now. You have them. We don't ever use them. Ooh, you did a great job.
Yeah.
My jump was so disappointing to me. But I know I get really nervous.
Ripple, Jesus.
All right, let's take the camera off the waterfall. It's maybe 3 meters, I guess.
Would you go back to Southeast Asia and revisit? Yeah, I'd go back to that. We keep talking about we want to go back to Thailand. But Laos, I think it's been long enough that I'd like to see it and see how different it is. But I remember we didn't have a bad time in Laos, but I remember when we left, we were like, that's enough. We were like, that's enough of Laos. Like, we're good with Laos right now. But thinking about it now, I think it's probably changed, and it would be cool to see how it's different.
But I do have to point out that I feel like
we're also
not
different.
not that we went everywhere, but I feel like we got a pretty well-rounded introduction to a lot of it. Like, you went to the major city and you were there and you were like, hi, it's kind of a capital city that's tiny. And then you went to the little off the beaten track frat place, and then you went to beautiful waterfalls and national parks, and then we went and we looked at like the historical area, and then we got caught in the freezing cold, like this exists area in Laos. And to me, like, I feel like we got a very well-rounded, like, just jump into the country. So I could see us going, okay, yeah, I've seen enough of Laos, and I don't feel like I've yeah, that's what I mean. You know, like a well-rounded existence there.
Yeah. But I also think, yeah, I'd go back there, but I'm not like specifically drawn back to it. It's hard to sometimes justify going back to in my head, like to go back to the same place multiple times when the world is so big and there's so many other places to go to. But we do live in Asia, so it makes it a little more accessible. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe at some point. I think we'll definitely end up in Singapore and probably Thailand again at some point. But I'm not sure. We don't have any plans or anything.
This country again. If we ever get out of
if we ever get a chance to leave Japan.
Yeah.
We're like, everybody's been like, I want to go to Japan so bad for like the last 3 years, and we're like, we really want to go travel somewhere else.
Trying to go somewhere crazy.
I don't know. It's pretty tall. It doesn't look tall on the camera, but
it doesn't. Oh.
That's a rare me burp.
Remind me, I gotta show you something later. Some audio editing that someone did.
Okay.
that was me pulling up my drawers. They don't fit very well.
They didn't even fit then.
All right.
How do you best capture this?
Here we go.
Oh, I'm gonna jump. Oh, that was cool. I didn't think I was jumping.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were jumping. Oh, look at you.
It must not have been that cold. Okay, so that is the final video of the evening. Let's punch through some of these pictures here, and we have companion photos basically that we took that can sometimes trigger our memories, because we when we make YouTube videos now, we film the shit out of them. Like, we do a lot of footage, but back then we would have times where we didn't do a whole lot of filming. So sometimes these can help us trigger. So this would have been at the beginning, and this is like the outskirts of the capital city. And I think this is when we went down to that place with the concrete build, like all those concrete characters and stuff like that we showed in the first video tonight. And yeah, because there's the sculpture, that big building.
Oh yeah, this was really fun. I think this is where reenacting began.
Yeah, I don't know if we were doing reenactments.
No, there was one before this.
But I remember this.
I'm beating you. No.
This was like kind of like
good.
The structure and all these things were sort of modern. Like, they weren't like super old or anything, and they had been built by somebody like somewhat contemporary. And I think, why do I think that it was like kind of like a quirky fellow that had done all this or something? And it was
I
like,
said in the video that he was eccentric, but we've also been to another place that was built out of concrete that like you could stay at it as a hotel, and it was another very eccentric person. I don't think it was the same.
Yeah, that was in Vietnam.
How do you remember that?
I just do, man. So I'm in the
like
top
I can never link things to where they are. That's one of my favorite pictures.
Look how tall that is.
Even Florian knows and I don't know.
Well, you live it, and then we film it, and then I usually, unless you're editing, and then I edit it. So I see it, and then people talk about it, and I see all the comments. I think I get it reinforced more than you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, once you film it, like, it's that the experience is over for the most part. It's going at the mouth of the pumpkin thing. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The skulls, it's just kind of like spooky kind of.
It has a Day of the Dead kind of feel.
Yeah.
Ooh, good job.
That one's pretty tall too.
Mm.
I'm right at her snooter. Look at that.
Oh,
That's the best reenactment. Yeah. Wow. Who's reenacting who is the question. Wow. That's perfect. You got nothing on me.
Yeah, I'll agree. Look at yours is in the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're necessarily reenacting it well. You just look really cute. Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember there being a lot of tuk-tuks and stuff in Laos. Yeah, see, we went up in it.
I think I actually remember making a video up there, but for some reason it's not in the edit, or it didn't make it.
You do the edit. We have to check with you.
I didn't. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That is cool.
That's nice that they took the chance of seeing that you had this opportunity to make this thing.
Yeah, they could have just put regular bars up or something, or nothing. No passing of grass.
Oh, man. The world peace gone.
The stuff isn't triggering much, like filling in much of the blank. So this is in that little town. This is in the frat boy town.
Oh, that's frat boy town?
Yeah, I can tell because of the mountains. And then we got there, and then that they wrote on our hands.
Yeah, when you went and you bought your float or your ability to float, they wrote on you in permanent marker, and then they tossed you in a tuk-tuk.
That's right. Like showed that you paid like or that. Something.
Yeah.
Were people jumping off those? Yeah, they were, weren't they? That's what those things that people were jumping off of were. That's wild. That's pretty high up. So like the houses are built up like that. Does that mean this river can flood?
If you look at the wall kind of gives an indication. There's a gray and then a yellow.
But the houses are still higher than that.
True.
Or is it just the style that they build the houses?
Could be the style of the house to keep it off the ground with rats and bugs. Yeah.
How did we were passing the camera back and forth, I guess, because you were filming a bunch.
We did pass it back and forth, but I did not have a waterproof bag that day, so it was difficult.
It didn't matter. The camera's waterproof.
But all my stuff isn't.
Like what stuff? You?
All that stuff there.
What did you have?
A shirt and a towel.
Yeah, I remember this picture. I remember the no rails on that rickety bridge.
That shit looks like the fucking 1960s.
Yeah, or look at that. Look at that bridge.
Look at that bike. What?
The bike, yeah, the whole thing. The whole scene is wild.
Dated. The whole thing.
This is the image in my head. This and then all the frat boy stuff. It's just this conflict of
complete contrast.
Yep. Oh boy. Now I gotta click a bunch of buttons again.
Yeah, I definitely still remember being a little worried when we went past all these water buffalo.
I didn't even remember.
They don't seem like scary animals or anything, but they could be.
I think they'd show. There's cows. I saw this picture and it's like bugs in dirt in a glass. And I'm not sure if we were fed that. I don't remember what the context was. I was hoping you would remember. I don't know. We just have this picture. It looks as
though there's water in it already.
The picture is named Drink Bug Animal. That's what we typed in on the name. So I think it was drinking water. It came out like this maybe.
Have a feeling we didn't drink.
This would have been in the town that was like kind of like European styled. I remember there being a market there. And we bought one of those little owls, didn't we?
Uh-huh.
What was it? It was like a little... What did it...
I think I got it and sent it to...
Somebody.
April.
Hmm.
Night, Muted Tempest. Thanks, we'll have a good trip. It's a good reenactment.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't really look like a polar bear. Look at its ears. It looks like a rabbit.
It's a bit more of a bunny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Are there bunnies in the polars?
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with that answer.
Who took this picture? Oh, maybe it's a timer.
Or somebody else took it.
Yeah, some other honky.
Up to the top. It's about to get hard.
What are we climbing across? No, that's me being... Danger, entry, no entry. I didn't enter. Oh. That looks cool. That's a cool picture. I think it's probably not so important anymore since everything gets geotagged, but back in the day, taking pictures of signs is pretty smart because then it's easy to like be like, okay, now I know where this was if you ever want to figure it out.
My arms look like I have no elbows.
Yeah, you do look kind of strange. Your face, you kind of look like you have no soul.
No, that's mega soul.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
too much soul.
That.
Wow. All of that like motion blur.
Just the shutters. Trying to keep up with the dark. Camera didn't know what to do, but...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I took that.
That's actually kind of impressive that I am pretty sharp.
Yeah.
And everything else is sort of blurry. There's no motion blur in me, even though I'm falling. Huh. But there's motion blur in everything else. I'm just surprised that it managed to pull that off.
One thing that was, you can't get a running start for that jump because of all the water that's up there.
Yeah.
I would worry that I'd slip, and so you really are jumping off the edge, which I like a running start.
You know what I like about this? We knew you could jump off that because we saw somebody else do it. And now they're seeing us do it. And then they know that they can do it. And it just keeps it so more and more people know that you can do it. But you got to have somebody at the beginning that knows it's safe.
Hey, buddy. Good evening. I hope you're feeling better.
This is Katie's handwriting.
I went to the restaurant because the floor is hurting my tuchus. I took my DS and am in PictoChat, the chat app, without your RYN. What?
I don't know.
The chat cup without your RYN. I'll be checking it every few minutes. Please message me to let me know you're up. On the table, you'll find toilet paper, DS, Gatorade, bread, already open for your your ease. Watch out so that you don't drop bread. And little
bags.
Little bags, crackers. Send me a note on the DS. Love, Katie. Oh, wow, we were in love.
So I saw this, and this told me...
We're engaged at this point, now that I think about it. Rewind.
This told me that that I was sick.
Yeah. This is your sick shit.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling well. The thing that kind of confused me about this, though, is how did we both have a DS? Because you lost yours in Myanmar.
Maybe we got another one for cheap somewhere? It really was what got me to bed, so I wouldn't be surprised if...
Then what the hell happened to it? I don't remember buying another DS.
I gotta get closer to this. I gotta know what this is.
Katie, you know I can zoom. She's like pushing her nose on the TV. I think it's just something we're not going to understand.
Yeah,
the chat
inside joke.
Up.
I think that I thought that's how you wrote app back in the day. But I'm not stupid, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's lost of time. There's the amazing...
The remarkable.
Yeah, so these pictures got out of order a little bit.
Who cares? Having a good time.
Yeah, but...
Look at those vans. Those vans are really fucking Laos. Ooh.
We didn't even
Nice
show
one.
this, like, video. In the video at all. Like, this type of stuff. It must have been the same thing.
Reenactments are for pictures only, I think.
This is what I was talking about, like, when I said, like, there would be, like, communist-looking stuff that, like, we ran across. This is that type of thing. Like, these squares, these open squares with, like, a statue or whatever. I wonder what your old content would look like if you ran it through a Topaz video AI. Apparently, you can upscale SD footage all the way to HK. I've played with some of those things. It does.
Oh, yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting looking. I haven't used... Maybe I did use Topaz. There's a free trial. I think it watermarks it or something. I tried that just to see what it would do. And it's okay. I don't feel like it gave a lot more information to the story, but I don't know. I have to play with it more. I think that in the future, maybe the technology will be better. Of course, it'll get better. Yeah, more communist looking stuff. Like super... This is just labeled food. It's like
sort of
spring rolls looking
yeah.
things. Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah. This is the airport when we had arrived. I believe I took this picture. The airstrip thing. And that's you drinking a $1 bucket of like, I think they just mixed a bunch of alcohol together or something.
You could
horrible.
choose. There were like 3 or 4 options. And I remember I chose one option and the bucket that I got had the remnants of a previously drank different option. So I got like halfway through with my shit and I was like, hey, there's like mint all over this once I had noticed it. And then they brought me a whole nother one out. And I was like, sweet. Just carry around mint and just like put mint on random things and tell people I'm unimpressed, and then they'll give me more booze.
Is this phrase "fuck it bucket"? Is that something you made up, or is that a real thing?
That's not from this thing. That's something that Chip and I made up based on a situation.
Yeah.
That required a fuck it bucket.
Yeah, that's my mood. That's my whole mood for that time. I think I'm exaggerating. I don't think I'm actually feeling that way. I think I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm just making a funny picture, but yeah, that was kind of the mood I had during that one small portion of this day.
I was trying to take a cool underwater picture, but like, see, I'm happy in the water, but I just can't relax enough to make it cool.
You gotta meditate first, man.
Okay, I'll do that next time.
Are you ready for one of my favorite photos from our entire trip?
No. What is it? Dude, I actually put this on a joke later. Down in the bottom right of the actual photo, like next to the dog's feet, it says, "This photo taken 1 month ago, so she looks a bit older now."
Something about that makes me makes me laugh so much. I hope they found Tuki or Pookie, but the fact that like it's 1 month older, so it looks a little older now. It just like really made me laugh. I find it peculiar, though, that it's all written in English.
How much is that reward?
I think it's like $100 or something. I remember just like dropping off like 2 zeros or something.
I'm starting to feel like this is just a joke.
Is it a joke?
What is that reward outrageous?
1 million whatever.
What do they got there?
Kroners,
okay, so we got to start at Laos currency. The kip.
Kip.
The kip. Right. So this is saying
1 million.
1 million, and then it says a K after it.
No, I think the K means kip.
Oh, you're so smart. Kip $2. Okay, so now you see that I'm like, I thought it was
so
$57.
It's like $50.
Yeah, that dog's doomed. I thought it was another.
000.
Call the number and ask them if they ever found Pookie. I don't want to know the answer to that. It might be a sad story.
How long does that kind of dog live anyways?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's starting to feel like regardless, it might be a bad story.
Yeah.
How long do dogs live?
That dog?
Any
I think
dog.
like 20
Some
years
dogs?
is like a super old dog. I think like some of the small dogs can live like 18 years or something like that. But anyway, we are going to be taking off here because
that was the last photo?
that's the last photo. Because we are going to be getting on an airplane and going to Okinawa tomorrow. But we will be picking this up. Can we look at a calendar and figure out when we will be back with Us Watching Us? I think definitely not next week. Also, not the following. No, next week we cannot do it on the 27th, but we'll be back on the 3rd doing another Us Watching Us.
That is true.
This Sunday's live stream is probably not going to happen like normal because we're traveling. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but it is possible we will be live streaming while we're down on the island. But our main objective is to film for our YouTube channel. So that will be priority. And if we happen to have time that we can squeeze in to do a live stream or two, we'll try to get those in as well. So keep an eye on everything in that sense. But for the next Us Watching Us, we'll be jumping into further northern Laos, and it starts with a banger of a video, one of my favorite videos. So make sure you check in with us on the 3rd at 8 p.m. Japan time, and we'll be starting off with the banger of the video.
I don't even know what to expect. It's a banger of a video.
Well, I don't know. It's just a funny thing. A funny thing happens. Anyway, so we got to go because I still got to pack, and then I got to sleep. And then we got to get up and go to an airport and then fly on an airplane to an island and then go to a hotel and then chill.
I have to eat an apple.
Yeah.
That is all I have to do.
And I envy you and your apple. Okay, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you in the next one when that is probably for Us Watching Us in 2023.
Happy New Year, everyone. Or enjoy your New Year's festivities.
See y'all later.